one of the most important values in this thing for me is leadership. I think when you read the story of the Bible, you see God's people being led by a sequence of really strong leaders: Abraham, Moses, Joshua. I mean, it's apparent that God picks leaders to lead his people, and that being a strong value for us, I love. And in some ways, the fact that East Valley and Praxis both have valued leadership has gotten us to where we are. That the merging of two churches, that alliance, is something that you don't see very often. And I think in large part because leadership requires risk-taking. It requires dependence on the Holy Spirit, faith, and these kinds of things. And a move like this, for the sake of a bigger vision, a statewide vision, a regional vision, though everyone would look at that vision and go, this is great, the risk involved takes a significant amount of leadership.
Yeah, I think it takes a specific type of leadership that, the buzz phrase is servant leadership. I've heard it said a lot that there's a difference between transformational leadership and transactional leadership, where transactional leadership is like, you do this, I do this for you so that I can get this from you, where transformational leadership is, no, I'm doing this to just make you, our church better, the world better. And I think what's been modeled at the inception of Redemption Church is even older leaders who are clearly have a vision for 20 years down the line and know they're not going to be in the saddle in 20 years, passing a baton, servant leadership, taking a back seat, which is servant leadership to enable this. The other one is Holy Spirit-driven leadership. And what we value at Redemption is that type of leadership needs to be in all spaces and all places, not just the church. That the church needs to have that presence in the arts community and in the marketplace and in education and in athletics and everywhere that our people get sent. We value leadership, that as the church moves through leadership, so does the world.
Yeah. Well, and there's, in each one of those spheres, there's continuity of what leadership means. And one of the big things I think Redemption can kind of lead the way. It gives us an opportunity with other pastors and business people and in all spheres to go, look, we've modeled that kind of selfless leadership of going, hey, we're putting away 6 years of good ministry at Praxis Church, 19 years of good ministry at East Valley for the sake of something bigger. The identities are going away. Influence and power and all that kind of stuff goes away for the sake of something bigger, and going, good, godly, biblical leadership requires sacrifice. It requires making a choice that might not be as personally beneficial as it is kingdom beneficial,
yeah,
or for our people. And I mean, that is transferable into the business community, that bosses make decisions for their company, for the good of their employees, for the good of their stockholders, for the good of, the broader market even, and not maybe what's best for themselves.
Yep. I think that's a great point. And I think that modeling is really gets at our all of life value, is that what the tradition of the common good is, that Redemption Church, the modeling is really believing that the legacy of East Valley Bible Church, or the legacy of Praxis in names, is not as effective and not going to be as beneficial to the wider church community, to the wider Phoenix, to Arizona or beyond, as it would be if we dropped those names and became one entity, that we're making decisions for the greater good.
Yeah.
I think that's a great point.
That's key to leadership.
Yeah, absolutely.